There is a thin divide between what is perceived as spiritual and paranormal, for they are forever entwined throughout time. Traveling within the history of the world, we can find examples of spirituality that involves everything from magic, spirits, gods and goddesses, and seers or people said to be able to talk to the dead. We all have our belief systems and we all have our own truths. So come sit with Holly Jenkins and myself as we talk about all that and more. Welcome to Spiritually Paranormal. Hey, how are you?
I should be going.
What a week.
Cuckoo.
It's been weird. And yeah, Mango's screaming. He can get out. I don't know why he's doing that. But yeah, I don't know. It's been kind of it's only Wednesday. We're already in May. I don't even know how that happened.
I know, May 1st. How on earth? I don't know. And
really,
I'm exhausted already. I am so tired.
yeah,
Work is busy. Work. I tell you what, the rates are still skyrocketing out of control, crazy. And so houses that are below 700,000 or 800,000
yeah.
are not moving very quickly, if at all. Nobody wants to make a move in certain price ranges. Anything below that, I'm way below. way below. Anyway, if you're on luxury property over $1 million, more like in the 2 million and up, those people buy their homes with cash money. This is what I've learned the past year of being here. They buy with cash money that's never in their name. It's all in a trust or an LLC. And those are the only houses selling. And let me tell you right now, those people, because they don't care about rates or anything, it doesn't affect them. Those people are moving like crazy right now. They are all moving.
Oh,
and there's a lot of them coming from California and other places to Tennessee.
My thing is probably they're moving and doing things like this because they don't know what the election next year is going to bring. And people that have a lot of money right now, they've got a lot more tax structure.
Well, California has gone crazy cuckoo with all their taxes and all their laws and stuff. So a lot of people
like you and I, we can't afford those taxes to go
No,
up.
we can't. We cannot. That my house payment has gone up nearly $400 because of my new tax assessment, and I haven't done a damn thing. My house is not finished.
Well, that was like when I had the guy come out from the city to assess again. I had just gotten the house assessed when I purchased it, so I knew what it was worth, and it wasn't even a year since it was assessed. So you can't tell me there aren't shenanigans going on. Because
they want those tax dollars. They don't care. They just want the tax dollars, but I can't afford it.
Yeah. And I mean,
I am solely on my own trying to support all these people in my house.
No, I get it. And you
can't. On an income that is not very much.
And it's your house, and you can't really blame the mortgage companies because we still have to pay, the taxes and stuff and the insurance. And that was the other thing. The insurance went up too because the price of the property goes up.
Exactly. The insurance went up. My car insurance went up as well. Now the property taxes have gone up, and I'm like, I need a fifth job.
Well, I had an interesting thing happen last Friday.
What would that be?
At 1:30 in the morning, I had 3, 17 to 20-year-olds trying to break into my home.
Oh,
at 1:30 in the
morning.
And I was actually sleeping for a change, and I thought, who is that? And they were trying to jam the screen door open because it was locked. They wouldn't have gotten in with the deadbolt unless they had like a crowbar. But I had my windows shut because it was only 40 degrees, and I'm not going to leave that open at night. Otherwise, you wake up in your sore throat and all that crap. And I was like, seriously, and I'm yelling, right, as I'm getting dressed to go to the door. And I'm yelling, and I looked out, and I saw these 3 young guys. And I'm like, I don't know who the hell you are, but you better have a good explanation for banging on my door at 1:30 in the morning. Well, they didn't hear me the first time because the windows were shut. Plus, I'm not right in front of them because I'm trying to get dressed.
Right.
So I popped the window open just a little bit. And I said, well, you know what? Me and my girl 3030 are heading your way. So I better know you when I open that door, or it's going to be up close and personal with my 3030. They heard me that time. I flicked the porch light on, and they jumped off the porch, head across the road into the woods. I called the cops. They were here in 10 minutes. I said, they ran that way. I said, and they said to me on the phone, are you okay? I said, yeah, come and look around all you want. I don't care. I said, but I told them which direction they took off to. And I said, but I'm going back to bed because they're not coming back here.
No.
So my friend, one of my closest friends, I consider a sister, got me. I got this box from Amazon. And my mailman comes up here. I go, I didn't order nothing. He goes, I don't know. It's got your name on it. It says Bear, And I'm like, okay. She got me solar light spotlights.
Yeah, I've got those. I have those on the side and the back of my house.
My neighbor has them. I mean,
yeah.
We're the only 2 that live here year round.
Well, when you're in the country, when you're out in the middle of, out away from the city, you got to have those things as well for the random people that do think, oh, it's easy pickings out here because ain't nobody around.
Well, and I don't have a vehicle in my driveway, nor do I have a garage. I have a big shed, right?
So they don't even think that anybody's there.
Right. And the reason they choose my house is because the one side of it is really close to my neighbors. So if you come outside, no one can see.
I bought a bunch of signs, no trespassing, warning signs. Yeah, of those, and smile you're on camera signs, and I have them everywhere.
Right. Yep. And this is what one of the things she sent me in the box, and the spotlights and another sign like what you're saying. You're on camera.
Yep.
I'm like, she goes, that's dangerous. I go, I know, but they do it at least 1 time a year. It's kids. I saw them. So, I mean, they're, like young kids, like in their early 20s, late teens. I says, and it happens every year. I said, back in 2018, I think it was, my truck, and I had my truck still then, and the wolf was here as well, and they broke into both of our cars. So, I mean,
man.
It happens, and it's always a time of year when there's not a lot of people around. So,
yeah,
I guarantee you, though, they did see the cops pull up because he came and was taking his, spotlight, showing it around to everybody. So anyway, hi, Kay. Hi, Cindy. How are you both?
I'm not even looking at the comments. I forgot. Why is it every time I go in now, it puts me on brands instead of comments? Hey, everybody.
So I'm gonna go ahead.
I was going to say, why don't we, if anybody has actual questions, let's answer some questions.
Yeah, we can do that.
There's only 3 people in here.
Oh, that's all right. I do have a good topic.
What is your topic?
I got to reading something today that was brand new, put out by The Guardian, which is really, they're good journalists. And it's about the new science of death. And
Lord,
I had several things come up over this last week to yesterday, that were involving near-death experiences and how they experienced them, how they record them with patients, and how some people, and actually this person that I talked to didn't believe it. They thought when the body dies, it's just dead. So, we've talked in the past about Dr. Raymond Moody. He was like back in 1975. He put that book out, Life After Death or whatever. And it like brought a whole new era of science, medical science and psychology to figure out what it was. Well, in the recent years, and this is what I found absolutely fascinating, was that they have determined that the brain can be clinically dead, which means your heart completely stops and your breathing completely stops for more than 10 minutes. Okay. But what they've been finding is between 10 minutes to 4 hours, the brain is still active.
That's crazy.
They've actually like monitored it with EEGs on your and the activity.
Well, the brain is electrical, so it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but what they found is like it goes down in activity and almost silent, but there's just a little buzz. And then all of a sudden, like even 4 hours later, all these areas of the brain light up, like seriously light up, like bigger than when you're alive. And it's the parts that control seeing and hearing and dreaming and emotion and all that. And it literally sparks up so high, it has actually shocked the medical science of what this is.
I don't know why they're shocked.
Well, from working in the ICU for many years, it's probably one of the hardest things to do is pull the vent off of somebody that is dying. And the criteria that they give for shutting or pulling the plug is the brain. It's called flatlining. But now with the further studies that they're doing, they're finding that after the flatline goes and everything's pulled off and you declare them dead in human form, again, all of a sudden everything starts triggering up. So people that didn't believe, and I actually talked to one this past week, and it was pretty cool to watch the transformation of them because I know them and they just didn't believe in life after death, human death. They were so blown away, I guess. And they were obviously they were brought back, and because they experienced an NDE, which is near death experience for all of us. Hi, right. Christy, how are you? And he described it as, he said it wasn't like a bright light calling to him, but he knew people that were there that had passed, and they were talking to him. And he wasn't in the body. He could see what was going on his body. And he was talking with grandparents. And he was, so it was like, and he's like, comes back. He said, I don't even know how to explain it. But he is different. He has I don't know, there's a lightness about him, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. It's like, oh, gosh, well, we don't just die. I don't know.
No, of course. Well, the body might die at its, like, it's kind of like, I imagine it more like, when you unplug something, some of the energy stays in that cord, stays in the machine. So it's not fully like out of power for a little bit. So the body is the same way, but the spirit, the energy that you actually are is still there.
Well,
whether it's inside the body or not.
But it's interesting to me that they can still see that in a person that's been clinically dead for 4 hours. I mean, right. To me, it's just like, wow. And they came back. So it was extremely interesting to listen and watch. And I know when I was working with the kids, unfortunately in ICU, we had, they die when they're in ICU at kids hospital, heart issues or, immune system, like they've got cancer and babies have cancer or whatever. And I'd walk in their rooms and I mean, you're talking about kids maybe 6 and under that said, oh, my grandpa's here. Or I see the angels. Do you see the angels? The angels are here to take me. Can you tell my mom it's okay to let me go? Because they're here. Now, right. When you're talking to a 4, 5, or 6-year-old and they're telling you this stuff, like, they're not going to be taught by adults that that's what's happening.
Right.
I just don't see it. So again, this kind of intrigued me, and I know we've sort of touched on it before, but it was interesting to read this article, and I did post it over in group if any of you are interested in it. It's very telling in the history of, since Dr. Raymond Moody put it out, with science and psychology and medical science. It's just a really, really interesting. I mean, I have no doubt. I know you have no doubts, but there are a lot of people that doubt, and yet this was an interesting thing too. They found that in NDEs, people that had more, what I call the engineer's brain, more logical, more this, they have to have it proved scientifically, and then compare it to people who have the creative side going on. More people on the creative side could explain it in a better way and had better experiences when they came back to tell about than the people that were science-based. But the people that were science-based didn't know how to explain it.
Right.
And there's
because it's like, but I don't also understand people of science, they work with things that you can't really see anyway.
Right.
But because they can't even see it under a microscope, they don't understand it. It's like they have to, if it's not something they can see under a microscope, then it doesn't exist.
But yet they can't explain it. So it's like, I attest to the fact that because we do what we do, I mean, and they brought that up too, and that people, there are grifters, and if you young people don't know what a grifter is, it's somebody that's a false prophet, a fake, right? That's trying to get people's money. But there are so many people that are good connectors to spirit. You just have to be careful. But I don't know.
There's so many people out there that are shysters.
Well, I just don't. The article blew me away. I mean, we know what's going on. We know our truths, but to actually read this, and it was kind of like a medical paper, I guess, that they would put out, similar to that, with all the biases and all the setups of how they did these experiments and how they did the control so they could, get a level reading on them. It was just kind of really super interesting. Anyway, okay, here you go. This one's for you. I've been having the same dream.
It ain't for me, it's for you. She's not serious. That's not for me. I read that one already.
God.
And there's the hawk. He's just being a slacker. That's why he's not hanging around.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that hawk he's got on there. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, then I was looking into Edgar Casey and the
I could write a book about that hawk riding on that horse.
Oh yeah. Add it to the list.
But what I have the horse and the hawk do is completely up to me. So you never know what might come out of that. Bear already knows. If I say I'm going to ride it, I'm going to ride it. She got her book.
Yes, it did. I even got a bear with a frog on its head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hi Brenda, how are you? Yeah. So then I was, you go down the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
So I saw this article, and I had typed something in, and it came up, and it was actually written the beginning of April this year, so it's very current. So as I'm going through it, I said, I wonder what. Well, people they'll look at Nostradamus and all his predictions, and they compare it to modern times, and there are things that can be very compared to it. And he was a long time ago. And then Edgar Casey, who was in the 1900s. I don't remember. I think it was the 50s, maybe even
Yeah.
50s. And Edgar Casey has been very accurate with what he has predicted. And for any of you that don't know who Edgar Casey is, I would suggest that you do look at a biography of him online. They couldn't really explain it. He would basically lay down and kind of go to sleep and talk while he was sleeping. And he would answer questions for people, but it was prophecies, just kind of like Nostradamus did. And he's got, I think there's 5 of them out that are supposed to occur soon, like this year, in the next year. And I was looking at all the ones that have been accurate, and they're pretty darn accurate. So I don't know what to call a person like that. Are they a prophet? Are they I wouldn't.
He could have been channeling.
Yeah.
I feel like 100% he could have easily been channeling that.
Yeah.
What's that name? Got dude's name that channels? He always channels with his eyes closed, talking to everybody.
I'm unaware.
How are you unaware? He's all over freaking TikTok.
I don't watch TikTok.
He channels some alien.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Bashar.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
he supposedly channels an alien.
So is it like, I mean, I've channeled before. I channel when I paint. I channel in the past. I've channeled what I call star seeds. That's how they introduce themselves to me. I don't like to channel unless I have somebody with me that can tap me out. Like, hey, yeah, you need to come back, you know. But I don't think I'd want what Casey did, or even Nostradamus and even his time. I would think that would make me go crazy. Like, seeing and hearing that stuff like on constant, and it's not just one person you're dealing with, it's everything in the world. I would think that'd be a little overwhelming. What is, oh, here.
What?
Okay, so Brenda, a friend of hers died this year in March, and she wrote something last week about the portal she saw when she was in Nashville, your area of expertise, for vacation. Do you think she was showing me something like her friend?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I think that more and more people are beginning, like Holly and I have discussed a lot about over the past year here, that more people are becoming aware. So your vibration is coming up higher, and the people that have a different life now other than humans.
The higher you vibrate, the more you see, the more you experience. But just let me give that warning that, well, I don't know if you could go down a vibration or not, but once you open that door, it's open. You're not closing it again. You're not closing that door. So be warned.
Well, but I think for a lot of people, I think it's necessary. And I do feel our friends, our loved ones that have left here in the human and are on the other side, I think they're urgently trying to knock on everybody's door, so to speak, to get them to prepare for stuff.
And also I feel like it's them letting us know that whatever happens right here, right now, on this, on the earth, on the planet, that it's not the end of life.
Right.
It's not the end of your existence either.
No.
It may be the end of your physical body, this particular physical body, but there's going to be more to come.
Yeah, and I think that people are vibrationally, like we've talked about as well, it's kind of ramping up. And I don't mean things that are coming that are bad. I think it's kind of like, and you and I have talked about this, and I talked about it a little bit yesterday when I was on. You need to unplug sometimes. And
Yeah.
all the negatives that are in the world are kind of taking priority right now on news media, on social media, just in life in general. And when you kind of totally like unplug from that, it gives you a clearer space to deal with your own life, with your work, with your family, with your loved ones, socially, but the people that you choose. And I think that's what we're kind of being prepared for, if that's a way to put it. Because I think
Yeah,
there's a lot of changes.
I think that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Okay. What's she saying now? Here we go.
She's getting keys off. I don't know what that means.
She's off, pissed off. She's getting pissed off because every night, 2 a.m., I'm in my bed, my hair stick up while I'm trying to sleep. And
Well, how about you try not to get pissed off and try to ask whatever's going on for answers?
And she can feel the floor going, like moving, someone walking near the bed. I'd ask them. You've waken me up. I need to know.
What do you want? Why are you waking me up like this? Why are you messing with my floor?
Well, this is an interesting thought, because what we used to call it, and I know that sounds bad, but at the hospital, it's the dead time. It's the quiet time. Like 3 a.m. is kind of a kicking off of those times, right? But globally, we're all on different clocks, right? Like you're even on a different clock than I am. Does that make a difference? Or is like that the calmest part of everybody's day, so we just experience more at that time?
I think so.
Is that what you think?
Yeah. Well, I think it's because you are more relaxed than you are, say, in the middle of the day. Because for me, I can, if I like on the weekend, because I can't do it during the day, I'm at work, but say on the weekend and I lay down for a nap, I can have all kinds of visions at that time because my mind is relaxed, my body is relaxed, and I'm not going to be fighting it for those messages to be coming in. So that's what I believe. It happens when I think the spirits are just as active all times of the day, but it's when you are most relaxed in the mind, body, and soul that they are able to communicate with you best. That's why most people that channel, what do? Every single person I've ever known that channels, they do a meditation. They go into some sort of trance or meditation state to receive that. So you have to relax the mind, body, and soul to receive those messages.
And I agree. Well, yeah, I guess it is any time of the day. Because I'll do it like that's how I channel those paintings.
I have had full 3D in color visions driving down the freaking road, which that always freaks me out because I'm like, dude, I'm driving. Stop.
And you get to somewhere that you're supposed to be, and you're like, okay, what just happened? And
how did I get here? And were all those lights actually green? And please pray they are. I better not be getting no tickets in the mail.
Okay. My location of my dream with the marble in Italy. It's called the Spanish Steps, but they didn't mention any earthquakes there. We exist in the time we reached pinnacle of our civilization, and we all know what happened in previous times. So much so that humans are basically kind of stuck on stupid, and we keep
stuck on stupid. I've got one for you.
Repeating. Just like all the stuff that's going on now on the campuses and over in the Middle East. It's like, why haven't we learned? What happened before was atrocious, so why are we doing it again? It's repeat and repeat. And I don't know if humans will ever get over that. I really don't.
No. Hey, so I'm going to go off topic just a tiny bit so we can have a little bit of fun. So do you remember the pancake story?
Yes.
And what pancakes really are?
Yes.
Okay, so I have another story that Tim just told me yesterday. So Tim and Rick are the two owners of this company.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick is very stressed, anxious all the time, and very anal about details, right?
OCD.
So he
OCD.
loves his dogs, and one of his dogs just passed right when the day I was here, my first day.
What kind of dog?
So Labrador. So he got a new one, right? And when he got Edna,
Edna? He named
Edna,
the
her
dog
name,
Edna?
she was already named Edna.
Edna?
Edna. She was already named. She was already 2 years old when he got her. She's so precious. She's a precious dog. Asked me, do I have any new books? Not anything new, but really they are new. I am revising everything. But anyway, let me get back to this story. So Tim was over at his house not long after he had gotten Edna, because Rick works from his home. So Tim was over there, and he found on his kitchen counter a Post-it note, and it said, 2 a.m. Turd Found. Because he would write down every poo, every ounce of food, every ounce of water, every wee the dog had, everything the dog was doing. He was documenting every single thing. So Tim was texting back and forth with Gina, Rick's assistant, about the Turd Found note, and he accidentally sent. It was a few days had passed, and he was just going to send Gina a note that said Turd Found, and he sent it to his client. So now, from now on, this is going to be our new thing. When some bullshit happens or something crazy, or you know what I mean, all we're going to do is text each other with Turd Found.
A little poop emoji.
Yeah, Turd Found. Turd Found.
Oh my God. Yeah,
it was just a Post-it note on his counter. 2 a.m. Turd Found.
Oh, that's crazy. I haven't done something like that in a long time, but I have done it in the past where, I'm just not paying attention and I'm responding to something and I hit send and I was like, oh crap, it was the wrong person, and you can't erase them. You can't make them go back.
No,
so
you
the only
can't.
ones that let you do that's Messenger on Facebook. And that only is if you're on the computer, because if you're on your phone, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, now he's going to be checking twice before he texts anything to anybody. But yeah, he sent that to his luxury client. Turd Found.
So she says, sorry, Holly, like Bear said, pissed off, but
yeah,
cheesed off. Yeah, I don't care. Words are words.
Going back to asking me if I have anything new, I am revamping everything, all the books, the coloring books that I have revamped so far. I mean, I have found a new program that's helping me with illustrations, and I'm kind of liking the new stuff better.
Oh, okay.
I thought I wasn't going to get any better than the last few that I had done, but this new program, I'm kind of loving it. It's a whole new kind of stupid AI language that you have to use to create the illustrations, but it's getting there.
That's cool. That's
I've got this. There's a car parked right in front of the door.
And you've got a mirror. You got a mirrored image going across there.
Yeah, the sun is shining right on the.
That's okay. We know. We see you. We see.
Yeah, but I can't see. I have to keep dodging the sunlight because it's blinding me.
So anyway,
I've got those spots in my face.
Oh yeah.
But let me tell you what. Let me tell you. I am beyond happy that Mercury retrograde is over with for now.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like for the whole retrograde, I really felt like, oh man, can you just let me move forward? Can you stop throwing these hiccups in my way? Can you just stop with the nonsense? It wasn't anything big. It was just lots of little things that just kind of kept
up. They add up. The little things just keep layering, and
it was wearing me out.
I and it's not even that I didn't want to do anything. I couldn't do anything. I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
My brain said, you need to do this. And then I'd see something somebody posted. And like, matter of fact, I told her, like, give me a break. Like, what kind of energy drink are you eating? I mean, or drinking? I don't understand this because my brain says yes. And my body's saying hell no. So yeah, no.
Yeah,
And
same. I started walking again last week, and I went on. I think Monday was like 7,000 steps, where I haven't been doing hardly any every day. So that was a good bit for me to do that day. Then I got to 8 or 9, and then the last 3 days I did 10, 10, and 10. And this week I haven't done anything because I've had this extra big project on top of me that I just can't. I can't do it.
Allowed. Chloe wants to know if you've ever thought of doing flip books.
Flip books, like?
Yeah, the ones that you flip and they move as you're doing them.
Oh, I haven't thought about it, but thanks for putting another idea in my head.
I appreciate it, Chloe. That gives her more stuff to do.
As if I don't have enough.
Well, one of the things I'm finding recently, and I mean like since retrograde ended actually last week, is there's a lot of people that are hurting out there physically, emotionally, just really drained. And some of them have nowhere to go and they don't know what to say. So if these people around you, you're not these people that are around you.
Chloe's giving you some work, Bear. Can you keep up?
Oh, no. Why? Oh, yeah. No. No.
Come on, Bear.
No.
Come on.
She hates too, Chloe. No. No. No.
Because I have probably about another 15 other stories that I haven't even illustrated yet, that I've written, and they're sitting there waiting for me to illustrate.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy. And yeah, this is water, not gin or vodka.
Sure. Yeah. Tell us whatever you want to tell us. But it's the thing is, for me, I want to feel the story in that moment. I wait until I guess I'm waiting for the universe to tell me which ones to do at what time, because I feel like divine timing matters.
Well, I'll share a little story with you about divine timing and how spirit connects. Everybody knows I'm running a special to make money over and above my budget that I have, right? So my extra money to get mango, since Pip passed, a friend.
Extra money? What's extra money?
Well, it's money I don't have in my pocket bare, empty. So this money I set aside to apply to things that I want. And then sometimes it's things that I need, But so I was on this all happened really quick too. I was on watching Birds and Beaks rescue rehab page, and she had posted, the owner, and it's a 401. It's a nonprofit. That's the word I'm looking for. And the gal that runs it, she was posting a video of, this is how we get up in the morning and we go in, and this is what we start to do, right? No, not why not. I'm not doing it. So she was running a video, right?
I could write a funny one for you to do illustration.
Just like how you go into these real estate places and you show everybody around the house. That's what they needed us to do. So they were showing us what they do when they walk to the rehab. Well, she got in there and she unlocked, and the big garage area where they're using laser printers to cut things out that they sell and what have you. But then they went into the inside where the heat and everything else is, right? And it's the birds. And they've got probably a good 400 birds in there, easy. Big birds.
Wow, that's a lot of birds.
It's a big property, and bless these people for taking care of them, right? So she
where is this at? Because I went to a bird sanctuary similar to this in North Carolina.
This is in Battle Creek, Michigan.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
So
Carry on.
So they were, she came in and it's separated. There's a bunch of rooms and they have different kinds of birds in each room because some shouldn't be, or, it's not good to put them by each other. And she walked in, and the first room, she turned the light on. One of the doors was open and a big cockatoo was missing. And she's like, oh shit, right? So she's sitting there and she's walking through with her camera and she's calling Lenny, who's the cockatoo. And on the way to look for Lenny, going into each room, Lenny had unlocked the big birds' cages in the other rooms. So they were all on top of their cage. She got into the main.
I have an idea.
Main front room, and these two huge scarlet macaws were out and on top of their cage because Lenny, the cockatoo, had let them out. They shredded, right, the curtains in the front of the building, just shredded them. So she goes, this is my not amused face. And she made a face and she turned it on her, it's funny. So she turned around, she walked back through the other rooms because she found Lenny and was going to make sure Lenny got in his cage. And the camera caught two little lovebirds. And I was like, oh, are those lovebirds? Because that's not usually a bird that they get. They get cockatiels, they get parakeets, but a lot of people just don't get lovebirds. Or if they have them, they don't give them up very often. So that day I got hold of them and I said, that was lovebirds, right? And they said, yeah. And I said, is that the only two you have? And she says, yeah. And I said, okay, earmark them for me. I told them what I was going to do, blah, blah, blah. So the other day on Monday morning, and that was all last week that I did that. Monday morning, I wake up and I had told a friend of mine, I decided to name them Sassafras, like sassafras, right?
Yeah.
And they were laughing about it. So then Monday, I go to get up in the morning and I sit up on the edge of the bed trying to get my wits about me, and I hear, my name is Blueberry. And I'm like looking around the room and I'm like, what the? I'm like, okay. Kind of looking, the birds are all covered up. They're not talking, And I hear it again. Did you hear me? My name is Blueberry. And I'm like, okay. Right. So that day goes on, Monday, and they got a hold of me and they needed me to fill out some paperwork and do all this stuff. And, it's protocol because they are a rehab 401 nonprofit. So I was talking to the one gal from there and I filled out all the paperwork. I said, by the way, what is their backstory? She says, oh, the lovebirds? I said, yeah. I said, what is the backstory? She says, well, this young couple, I don't like people like this. They had them. They're 2 years old. They had them for just under 2 years. She says, and they got a puppy. And they don't want the birds anymore because their attention's on the puppy.
Right.
I said, are you kidding me? So they got animals and they're discarding them basically like trash. Thank God the rehab got them.
Right.
But birds and small animals, they still need care. They still need love, right? So I said, that's just crazy. She says, yeah. And I said, are they male, female? She says, no, they're both female. She says, she goes, Sass is a little crazy. She's just, and I didn't tell her what I had picked out as a name, right? And I said, Sass, which one's Sash? And the one that looks like mango, more like mango, is Sass. I said, okay, what about the other one? She says, oh, that's Blueberry. I said, excuse me? And there's nothing written anywhere, right? And she goes, no, that's Blueberry. I said, are you kidding me? She goes, no. I said to her, I said, well, I guess they're supposed to be here. And I guess Blueberry already knows she's coming here because that's what I got yelled at this morning. Blueberry, my name is Blueberry. And I thought, oh, wow. So, yeah, spirit comes in many forms.
What if we were to write a story about Blueberry, and for the place, I give them all the files and everything so they can then self-publish it, So any proceeds from that book sales goes to the bird sanctuary.
Oh, they'd love it, I'm sure. Wait till I
Well,
get
you
the
know
bird
them.
home.
You can pitch the idea if they would
Okay.
like. I'll be
Wait
happy
till
to do it.
Okay.
I get a free minute. But I think that would be a good thing because they could up the price of it. I keep mine very reasonable because I want everybody to be able to afford it. But this is for charity, so you would raise it enough so that you can make profit. Because I don't. Most of my books, I don't even make $2 on.
No, I get it. I don't either. People think we're loaded. We are not loaded.
We are struggling artists.
But we are
Struggling.
also, but we still assist people, and to me, that's kind of what I'm here for. And I know Holly does all the time, so it's just the way we are. Yeah, I'll pitch it to them, but I'm not going to do it till I get the birds here because I got to be able to tell their personality.
I think it would be, and Blueberry would be the cutest name for the character in the story. And it could be something about where's Blueberry and have him in all kinds of situations where you have to hunt for Blueberry.
Okay.
And the little voice coming from, I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm over here.
Yeah. That would be cute. Yeah. Yeah. I'll pitch it to them. I'll get back to you. That's a cute idea. But yeah, no, that's
and then you could have some information in there about the bird rehab and what they do, their mission.
Yeah.
And or it can be done, I don't know what their clientele is, but they could do a companion book. They could do a bird coloring book and have the different varieties of birds that they help save and have a little write-up and information about each type of bird.
Yeah, bless their hearts.
I mean, there's so much that could be done.
Yeah, like talking about their food and what they eat. And yeah, that could be worked in really easy. Yeah, I'll let them know. I'll let them know. I don't think they'll have a problem with it. I'll let them know.
Yeah, Raylan says we're not struggling artists. Man, we are abundantly blessed artists.
Oh, yeah, actually we are. We're successful artists.
We're so successful.
And we have to, but the main thing is we have to put out and remember what we put out to not undervalue ourselves because we're worth it. And we need the income. We have the income coming over and above what we make currently, and it needs to be that continuous flow of positive cash. So I get it.
To get me out of the hole. I need out of the hole.
Well, that's something though that people don't understand, and I know not everybody is tied into nature's creatures, but I have been since I was here. I was never scared of animals. Even when I was a baby, I was never, the kids in the black would come and get me because of this one time I remember we actually had snakes in the neighborhood, which they don't have down there anymore. They were just gardener snakes. And they are one of the snakes that give birth live. When they give birth, they're live babies, right? And so the mom got squished by a car, and the babies were all really tiny, and the kids didn't know what to do with them. I was about 12, I think, and they all came and pounded on my door. Oh my God, help us! Because they didn't want to pick them up. So I wanted to get them, and then I took them to a huge field area where it was just trees and grass, kind of a park area, and I let them go. But I've always been able to connect with animals. So, but for a bird that I've never met, it just cracked me up. I was like, wow. And of course, Blueberry is blue. So
that is such a cute name. I love it. If they don't want me to do that story, I might have to do that story anyway. That is adorable.
Yeah, I will. What is she doing?
I'll do the story and give it to you, and you can self-publish it. So you can. I mean, seriously, I am about helping whoever I can help.
I don't want to do a rap with her. No, you could do a rap, write a rap or a poem or something about. Yeah, no, she's already got me hooked in with these dang fairies and stuff. And I said their name. Okay, speaking of weird, I know we've only got a few minutes, but I had 2 weekends ago, I had this weird thing humming on my lake. I posted a little bit about it, but...
Oh, yeah, the will-o-wisp or
it's moving a little bit. Now it's completely purple. I have no clue what this is. It's above the water level, though. But
Okay,
you see I'm
so
shooting it through the trees as well. I think it's really
it
bright.
goes to purple. I still don't know what the heck it was. It was here from 1:30 in the around 1:30 in the morning till about 3. No clue what it was. Absolutely no clue what it was.
There it goes to purple again.
And it kept turning purple and blue. I mean, here goes purple again. I told him, I went out on the porch and I yelled to him, I don't know what you are, but you need to go find Holly in Tennessee because, you know, Tennessee has a lot of that stuff going on. You're not muted.
Me and Robert were watching, rewatching the second season of Bridgerton because the third season is about to come out. Oh my God.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, the third season is about to come out on the May 13th, I think. And it's going to be saucy. Woo!
Well, you watched the Queen,
Penelope
right?
and Colin get together.
Oh, well, and you remember the one, did you watch the one about the Queen?
Yes,
was a good one too.
Queen Charlotte. That was really good.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were laying there watching Bridgerton, and he said, "Did you see that?" I said, "What?" And there was a spark of light that was over behind the bedroom door, and I kept watching for it, but I never saw it. He's the only one who saw it that time.
But see, the little ones, those little tiny ones that came out after it turned blue. I told them, I'm telling you, I told them, go down and visit Holly. She's in Tennessee. They get that crazy stuff all the time. Nobody in the neighborhood knew what it was either. We thought it was explained because we thought we had bow fishermen out, which I never heard of. They go out with bows, like bow and arrows, and they light the water and they shoot the fish with the bow. But bow lights don't turn red and blue and purple. So we have no idea what it is. Absolutely zero. So, well, guys, another fun afternoon. Yeah, yeah, right. I just, it was crazy. I don't know what it was. Yeah, it was crazy. I send a, yep, see, Chloe got you that time. Send them all to you.
Don't send me the aliens. Not unless they plan on taking me to another planet where there's nice people and fresh water and fresh air and no probes.
You know what would happen if they took you and they took me, or they took me? They'd dump us off at the first opening they could get because we'd be too much. They wouldn't be able to figure. They're like,
we are just enough. We are not too much. Kay says she mimics their accent and the way they speak. Look, I live with a man that has their accent. It grows old, especially where there's a lot of bullshit that comes with it.
All right, guys. Well, thanks.
Do you know why the bee went home, had to go home?
No.
He forgot his yellow jacket.
Oh my God, that's got to be a Bob joke. That's a Bob joke? Yeah. That's a Bob joke. All right. Yeah. Well, we love you guys. Thanks for popping on and sharing some
love you guys.
Things. Until next week. Y'all have a great rest of your week, and we love you, and see you next week.
Toodle pip.